Rajiv Lal, let me come to you because as we're articulating, it's a long list of announcements that have come in from the new Reserve Bank governor. What to your mind would be the big headline? What to your mind is the big highlight?
I think it's a very strong signal, as all of you have been suggesting, that Governor Rajan, we expect and hope, will leave a legacy on the banking system in India. So what I take away from this first presentation is that he has obviously been thinking about these issues very deeply for some time, and he has a very strong sense of direction for which way the financial system in India during his tenure will track. So he has taken the initiative on structural reform of the financial system, and that is very important signal at a time of macroeconomic volatility, because it clearly indicates to market participants that we are of a mindset to continue confidently along the lines of structural reform. And since he has been given the mandate, he will take that initiative to drive structural reform in the financial space. So very heartening, and I really wish him all the very best.
Rajiv Lal, I completely agree. This is oozing confidence on day one. Until now, all our policymakers and commentators looked really beaten down, beleaguered by the problems of the economy. Here's one man who knows, yes, there will be problems in the economy. No, not once did he use the word crisis. It is not just business as usual. It is a go-getting governor. Well, full cheer to him. I do wish that he would succeed in everything. But, specifically, to get on the issue of markets, Nirmal Jain of the IIFL is also joining us. Nirmal, is there anything specific that stood out? He spoke about unchaining markets. Anything specific you want to comment?
No, I think he has surprised the market by being very specific and very clear on what he wants to achieve in the first few minutes of his assuming office. But it's not that he does not have understanding of the system, because he worked on that financial committee for reform, so he worked very closely with RBI as well as Government of India, and in last 1 year in government in the finance ministry or as chief economic advisor. He's got good understanding of the issues, so his agenda is clear, and I think he has inspired confidence as well as shown confidence, and he has given a very clear message that he means business and he's going to act on whatever has to be done.
Do you think the rupee itself is going to react positively tomorrow, Nirmal?
I'm not really. I think the market sentimental reactions to rupee or stock market is not material at this point in time. But we really need to. I think he has started well. At least there's a clarity of thought and as well as courage of conviction. So he's moving in the right direction, and obviously market may positively react, but market will have many more variables to reckon with. So I would not like to comment on that.
Absolutely, the market will have many more variables to contend with. But Nirmal, just hang in there. Lata, I want to put this across to you, because speaking of giving out a sort of guidance, if I could call it that, as far as the bank license issue was concerned, he was very specific, and he has very clearly said before January 2014, the Reserve Bank intends, or at least hopes, to give out those bank licenses. Interestingly, an external committee headed by Bimal Jalan is also going to be screening applicants. Your quick take as far as what he had to say on new bank licenses are concerned.
But clearly he means business, and well, ultimately we thought there are going to be 50-60 applicants. There are all of 23. So, the number of applications, the number of actual licenses Bimal Jalan may recommend may not be terribly many. We know Dr. Jalan has been through this, so perhaps the number of licenses may not be terribly many. But I think the more important announcement he makes is this on-tap licenses. An RBI discussion paper is on the website already in the last 24 hours. And Rajan has particularly taken note of that. So my sense is, and I thought that yesterday as well, it must have been put in consent with him. All the last month actions after Rajan became governor designate were surely passed through him, or at least he was kept in the loop. So this is even bigger. That means we are going to get a regular flow of licenses. Now there could be two views on this. Opening the Reserve Bank to the level of political and corporate influencing that will happen, lobbying that will happen if you keep it on tap is going to be considerable. But that apart, it's certainly bold. You will have two views on how it should be done, but it's not just going to be quick licenses in Jan. It is going to be a constant flow of licenses, which will mean more competition for the banking sector. Quickly, Rajiv Lal, do you think that bank valuations are going to start falling now because there's going to be a problem of plenty? It won't anymore be a seller's market.
No, I don't agree with you at all. See, from a public policy point of view, having bank licenses on tap actually, as you say, diminishes the scarcity value, and therefore the effectiveness of lobbying or the importance of lobbying is undermined.
Okay.
So if you are a deserving candidate, the RBI will reserve the right to screen your candidacy, and if you are deemed to be an appropriate candidate, there is no reason why you will not be allowed to enter the banking fray. So it's not you're getting away from an environment, a system where you are saying, okay, only so many licenses are going to be available, and then the door is going to be closed for 10 years. So in that situation, you create a feeding frenzy, and then all the lobbyists come out, and that's what is actually counterproductive. By making it a continual process, you actually de-emphasize that. Competition is a good thing. So those who succeed under competition, their valuations will stand the test of time and will grow. Those who don't succeed will lose value.
Actually, no. I mean, competition is always positive. I was only wondering if they were opening their doors to more lobbying. Your point is taken, and I hope it plays out the way you are saying and not the way I fear. But Rajiv Lal, just to play the devil in this argument, there is a lot that he has done against RBI orthodoxy. Do you think he's taking on more than he can chew, or do you think, well, times have changed and the RBI will change with him?
You see, he actually comes at a very opportune time. If Rajan had been appointed governor of the Reserve Bank of India in very benign times, right?
Yeah.
His ability to change and induce change would have been much harder. Today, he has the advantage. That's why I say, again, all power to him. Take advantage of the initiative and induce change. But that's the nature of our system. It takes crisis eventually, to force dramatic change. And I would like to believe that we are at the cusp of just such change when it comes to the financial system of our country.
Well,